The second time I sat on the train and went to Munich was on Saturday morning, because the week before, when I visited Munich on Sunday, the local market in the city center was closed, not working, and that was actually one of the main places that I wanted to visit. I love visiting local markets, hearing people yelling about their products, discussing about the price and quality, bargaining and convincing customers how their garlic is the best garlic in the region. I mean, isn't that the reason why we all love going to the markets? Not only because of the fresh products, but also because of the drama happening there. But this market in Munich, called Viktualienmarkt, was not at all what I was expecting it to be. It didn't really fulfill my expectations of the market atmosphere that I was hoping to see. Don't get me wrong, it looked very nice and organized and clean, and people working there were kind but that's not really the reason which makes me to go to visit the markets. This market felt to me somehow too flawless and noiseless, but I'm still happy I saw it. I wanted to sit down for a morning cappuccino and maybe some gluten-free cake, if I get lucky and find one, just to start my day on a positive note. But the cafe that I liked didn't have free tables. Everything was reserved for Saturday morning. Seems like in touristic big cities like Munich, you have to plan everything in advance. So I searched a bit more and ended up in a bakery nearby. I ordered coffee with cream and strudel with vanilla sauce. It tasted really good. I think I didn't eat anything similar to strudel since years. And the German and Austrian strudel as well are really always delicious, without mistake. By the way, one interesting fact about strudel, which some of you, my friends, will be happy to hear. It was exactly the Turkish baklava, introduced into Austria in 1453, that led to the foundation for strudel. Amazing, right? Gradually, strudels with different fillings were created, and the oldest strudel recipe is for a milk cream strudel that was handwritten in 1696. The original document of the recipe can be found at the Viennese City Library. After my strudel experience, I had a meeting point for a tour of Munich's new city hall. And while waiting for the tour to start, I was listening to this beautiful orchestra nearby. They sounded very energetic and looked so pretty in their traditional German clothing. But for me, the fun part was when during the break, all the musicians were drinking beer. Very German of them. Okay, time for the city parliament tour. It is one of Munich's most impressive buildings, located in the heart of the town, on Marienplatz. It hosts the city government, including the city council, offices of the mayors, and a small portion of the administration. In 1874, the municipality had left the old town hall of Munich for its new home, new city parliament. The decision to construct a new building came due to the lack of space in the old building. The building is built in Gothic style, which I like very much, and is inspired by Brussels Town Hall. The damages to the new town hall that occurred during the bombing on Munich in 1944 were rebuilt after the war. Now, the main reason why I wanted to go inside the city parliament and do this tour was because that was the only way to visit the library inside the parliament. Okay, I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I really like discovering and seeing new libraries, and this one I wanted to visit since very long time. It is actually a law library made in a romantic Art Nouveau style and dates back to 1905. I loved the peaceful atmosphere of the reading room, with all the lined 10 meters high bookshelves and this beautifully designed iron spiral staircase. The library was very much worth visit. After this very much cultural experience, it was just the right time to visit the nearby famous Munich's Hofbräuhaus. Okay, to give you a small introduction into this place. Hofbräuhaus is Bavarian traditional tavern, famous worldwide just as Munich's grandiose October Beer Fest. This room on the ground floor, called Schwemme in German, is the heart of the house and can host up to 1,300 guests. Before, even beer was brewed in this room. And some tables are here since the far 1897. It is a perfect place to experience typical Bavarian culture, cuisine, and hospitality. Interesting fact is that even young Mozart, while he was living just around the corner here, visited several times Hofbräuhaus in the late 18th century and was inspired by the atmosphere here by writing his opera, Idomeneo. Also, Vladimir Lenin, Russian politician, was coming here on a regular basis while living in Munich, as well as some not-so-famous German politicians like Adolf Hitler, who in 1920 held here the first meeting of National Socialists. Beer garden of the Hofbräuhaus is also very nice. And the kitchen, a bit behind the scene. Now, my friends, time again for some royal moments. I took a metro from Marienplatz metro station, which by the way looked very cool and futuristic, to reach my next destination, which would be Nymphenburg Palace. My friends, you know how much I love visiting castles, especially summer residences like this one that have a lake with clear water, big fountains, swans and ducks running around, and of course, stunning gardens with flowers and sculptures. I always feel very excited to explore them and inspired to film them. By the way, it is estimated that only in Germany there are around 20,000 castles and palaces. That is a really magnificent number. Many of them are very, very old, coming from the medieval times, looking like from classical fairy tale. Nymphenburg Palace dates back from the far 1664, and it was a gift from Elector Ferdinand Maria to his beloved Adelheid. The interior decoration inside the castle is really breathtaking, with a lot of paintings, portraits of the royals, sculptures, covered themed rooms, a lot of silk, little artistic details, crystal lamps, and all the other works of art that make the palace just so atmospheric, picturesque, dreamy, and astonishing. At its best times, the Nymphenburg Castle was the largest palace in Europe and the place where a young 7-year-old Mozart was holding a concert to impress the royals. My favorite room, my friends, was the biggest room in the palace, the glittering stone hall, also the highlight of the main villa. It is one of the grandest and best preserved Rococo rooms in Bavaria. The ceiling frescoes are done by Johann Baptist Zimmermann, who painted them on his back, Michelangelo style. The nymph-filled frescoes induce happiness and are filled with nymphs, rainbows, flowers, and other pastoral pleasures. The green and blue hues are fascinating. It is so easy to start feeling here like a princess, or like a funny weird person dancing alone in the room. Anyway, time to go out for the fresh air and to check out the royal garden. The garden of the Nymphenburg Castle is not less interesting than the palace itself. With the summer weather that I had, it was just a perfect place for a promenade and relaxing from the crowd. There is even one Venetian gondola. And friends, you know me, I had to bring a book with me, to read a few pages in this wonderful, beautiful surrounding. The book I was reading was The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, published in 2020. The book belongs to the fantasy science philosophical fiction, the genre that I actually don't read so much, but there was such a big hype about this book that I just had to check it out. The book is about a girl named Nora, whose life has been going from bad to worse. Then, at the stroke of the midnight, on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to a library. There, she is given a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. The book raises the ultimate question of humanity. With infinite choices, what is the best way to live? I really enjoyed the read. It hooked me from the beginning. The story is very entertaining and fast-paced, and I read it in 2-3 days. There were really a lot of profound messages in the book that make us question, how do we live our lives? How do we spend our time? What do we regret? What choices do we make? The book made me think, and I like when a book is thought-provoking. It is not the best book I ever read, but I recommend it to you for sure to check it out. Okay, let's move on, guys. Before I jumped in the train to Nuremberg, I anyway had to wait a bit for my train time, so I went for a second and last cappuccino of the day to celebrate life and this amazing day in Munich. So I went to a coffee house that I found on the internet, called Bicicleta. I liked the concept and the design of this coffee house very much. It was filled with bicycles hanging from all the sides, and the seats were like saddles of the bicycle. It felt different than any other coffee house I visited so far, and it was also very peaceful and not crowded. I usually don't like the industrial look of the coffee house, or in general of any space, but this somehow had a good vibe. It felt a bit like you are in a bicycle garage or shop while smelling freshly brewed coffee. Not so common situation. Anyway, I had nice time while drinking my cappuccino and continuing reading the book The Midnight Library. And for the end of this day vlog in Munich, there is one more place that I want to show you, my friends. I was thinking, should I really put this next place in my video or not? But then, why not? Designers have put so much effort in this next room to make it look as it looks that I have to show it to you, to make the designers happy that someone admires their work. Okay, so this is the room, the fanciest restroom I've ever seen. As it turned out, the coffee shop belongs to some pretty luxurious hotel, although the price of the coffee was actually very affordable for Munich, so the guests from the coffee shop have to go to the bathroom of the hotel when they need it. And such a luxurious looking bathroom was, I think, worth checking out. Anyway, my friends, this is maybe the weirdest place ever where I ended my vlog till now, the restroom. But I still hope you enjoyed this cozy day vlog with me. Thank you for being here. Take care. Bye bye.